Hello, everyone. It's Stephanie Clegg, licensed associate counselor, here to bring you yet another mental health moment. I have missed doing these videos over the last month or so, but I'm a counselor, I'm a therapist first, right? And clients have been going through. Typically, the end of the year is rough for a lot of people. I would say from like October all the way through to December for a variety of reasons. People are more stressed. People are feeling the pressure of the holidays, missing loved ones, missing family time, where families typically would get together and have not been doing so over the last year or two. So there's been a lot going on. But thankfully and prayerfully, all of my clients are good. They survived. And now we're here getting ready to celebrate the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026. So let's jump right into it. So I attended a workshop earlier this year, and the name of the workshop was Couples Under Mismanaged Stress. So I want to talk a little bit to couples um, and the effects of mismanaged stress, right? How that negatively impacts a couple's relationship. Excuse me. So, when couples are under stress, they lose relational skills. So, there's a lot of stressors, a lot of life factors that occur on a daily basis. And in dealing with those daily stressors, we tend to have higher levels of agitation, right? We get annoyed with one another quickly, more withdrawal. Sometimes people just don't want to be bothered. We have a lot of stress at work, maybe working different ministries in the church, inside and outside of the church. Our roles as parents, as spouses, and sometimes we just want to break, right? We just want to check out. So some people will withdraw when there's a lot of stress. People are less affectionate, right? We don't feel like being lovey-dovey. We don't feel like sitting up under one another because we have the stressors of life on our minds. We have parenting concerns on our minds. Um, there's an increase in curiosity, right? So when couples are under a lot of stress, someone may think the grass is greener somewhere else or with someone else. Something to consider. There's a decrease in problem solving, right? I say this all the time. If we're inundated with negative ideations, um, and we believe that our situations are hopeless, we feel helpless, it largely and negatively impacts our ability to problem solve, right? When we're so consumed with the problem, we often can't um, um, look at our strategies, right? Or use strategies when we're inundated with just the issues of the day. We're less humorous, less playful. Um, so these are just some of the negative impacts of stress on a relationship. So I'm going to talk about three quick areas where stress negatively impacts couples. The first is work-life balance. When couples are under stress, right? One of the things that you should look at is your work-life balance. A lot of us don't have a good work-life balance. I know so many people are working after 5 o'clock on the weekends. At midnight, they're on their computer answering emails. They're afraid that work is going to pile up. They feel the pressures of financial struggles, afraid of losing the job if they don't answer after 5 on weekends, um, and just the lack of feeling valued at work, right? So one of the things that couples should look at is your work-life balance and talk about it, communicate it to your spouse, your significant other, and maybe strategize how we can balance that better, right? There has to be me time, there has to be family time, right? And family time and me time should never be interrupted or put on the back burner for work. I'm just saying. So, work life balance is very important. The second um, topic that I would like to bring up regarding stress is the pressures of not doing it right. When we're in relationships, there's always that pressure of us not doing it right, trying to get it right, trying to be the perfect spouse, the perfect parent, the perfect daughter, the perfect sibling, the perfect employee, right? And we're afraid of not getting it right. So it puts a lot of pressure on us to perfect it, right? To um, maybe go a little overboard in trying to be perfect or trying to get it right. So I got news for you. Right is a moving target. There's no one way that is right in most situations. There's more than one option, more than one way. And in a relationship, what's right is what works for the couple. It's not one person's way or the highway, is what works best for the couple, right? When we join together in holy matrimony, um, we have two individuals, two different um, life experiences, two different childhood experiences, two different rearing practices that we've been exposed to, and we're coming together to become one. Now, in Christianity, we call that becoming one in God, that only God can take two different people and blend them together to become one, to think alike, to have similar goals, to move in the same direction. So, the pressures of doing it right can add stress to any marriage, to couples, any couple. And then my third and final point that causes stress in couples is differences in life philosophies. And I love talking about this when I do couples counseling. Um, we take for granted that everyone was raised the same way that we were, and that everyone has had the same experiences with family, and our child rearing and who raised us largely impacts our philosophies of life. For example, and I may have said this before in another video, but for example, if partner A likes to spend money, they like to do projects around the house, they like to travel, enjoy the finer things, they save some money, but they believe in spending money. Partner B is real thrifty and frugal and believes you should not spend money on projects around the house. You should absolutely not take vacations whenever. And you should save money. You should do more saving than spending. Just those two different life philosophies can cause stress in a relationship. So again, that's where communication comes in. That's where empathy comes in. We have to understand each person's philosophy, right? And then come to a conclusion. How can we compromise? Marriage is always about communication and compromise. So if we can talk about our philosophies and why they're important to us, maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle, um, and reach a compromise, something that works for both of us. So that's our video for today, right? So for couples under mismanaged stress, think about those three topics that I brought up. Work-life balance. What does your work-life balance look like, and how can you balance that better? Um, how can we avoid the pressure that comes with trying to do it right, trying to perfect marriage and trying to perfect becoming one? How can we work through that so that there's not so much pressure on getting it just right? And then finally, having some empathy, some communication, and some compromise regarding each person's life philosophies, right? Two different people trying to become one. There's going to be some differences, but if we can address those three areas, just quite possibly we'll be able to manage stress as a couple and be better off for it. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know give me your feedback. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.